Global instability has integrated into the baseline of modern operations. We see a pattern where disruptions, economic, political, or environmental, don't resolve, they merely overlap. For decades, global governance relied on rigid globalism, a framework designed for a world that assumed stability was the default state. This model utilized static protection. It prioritized building systems capable of resisting a specific level of pressure, assuming that if the walls held, the internal functions remained safe. But when disruption is a continuous variable, an inflexible defense becomes a guarantee of failure. A system that cannot bend under constant pressure eventually reaches a mechanical breaking point. This traditional architecture is essentially a fortress. In predictable environments, the fortress is highly efficient. It centralizes resources and authority, allowing for rapid movement through established channels. This operates as a hub-and-spoke network. Every transaction follows a critical path through a central core. Survival depends entirely on its integrity. If that central node is compromised, the network goes dark. Without secondary pathways, one localized failure guarantees total systemic collapse. This demonstrates the high cost of single-link dependency. It suggests that a system's strength shouldn't be measured by its ability to remain undamaged, but by its ability to maintain activity while sustaining hits. To maintain function, global structures are evolving toward adaptive multilateralism, a system built for a world in constant motion. The mechanical blueprint for this is the Aquarian Systematic Resilience framework, or ASR. Unlike legacy models that operate at either 100% or 0, ASR systems are engineered to shift into degraded states. They are designed to lose secondary functions while protecting the core movement of the network. This distributed network model shows the difference. There is no single center. When one path is blocked, the system automatically reroutes through neighboring nodes to prevent a bottleneck. An ASR system survives because its architecture treats stress as data. It uses the pressure of a crisis to identify where it needs to redirect its flow. Efficiency in this model requires a hard choice. You cannot protect every node. You have to identify the pivot dominoes. By mapping the network's topology, we can isolate the specific nodes that, if lost, would trigger a cascading failure. These are the only points where the system cannot afford a total breach. Protecting these points requires more than just technical security. It requires the principle of human integrity density. This involves placing decision-makers at these nodes who are trained in specific ASR protocols. Under extreme stress, these individuals prioritize the network's continuity over their own local control, following preset routing maneuvers rather than reacting with the panic or hoarding that typically causes a system to seize up. By securing the technical pivot points with people trained to maintain the flow under fire, the system gains the time it needs to reorganize and survive the initial shock. This leads to the most vital principle of the ASR framework, flow sovereignty. While traditional governance focuses on territory or centralizing power, adaptive governance prioritizes movement. To stay functional, a system must keep three specific assets in motion: authority, data, and liquidity. As this diagram shows, if the primary channel is severed, flow sovereignty mandates that these assets immediately find alternative paths to keep the system's heart beating. In this model, maintaining the movement of these three assets is more important than maintaining a fixed central command. The function matters more than the specific node performing it. When the primary structures of a system are hit, true resilience is found in the ability of authority and capital to keep moving through the network, even when the traditional map has been destroyed. We are entering a period where the default state of global strategy is rapidly becoming networked and distributed. Future governance will be defined by its ability to remain operational through design rather than through brute force defense. In a world of interconnected networks, future systemic disruptions are a mathematical certainty. Investing in thicker walls or rigid protectionist policies offers a diminishing return. It wastes resources on a defense that is fundamentally ill-suited for a fluid environment. Success will be measured by a single metric: not whether your system can avoid a disruption, but whether it is designed to keep flowing while the disruption is happening.